Partner. Welcome to Starry Night Guitars. Today's lesson is going to talk about learning scales, but the benefit of learning them over the entire length of the guitar neck. So, if you're like me, when you first start learning scales, you probably learn it in one single position. So for instance, if I learn a G scale, starting with my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. My index is covering any note on the 2nd fret, middle finger, 3rd fret, ring finger, 4th fret, and pinky, 5th. So to play this form, I'm going to start on my 2nd finger, middle finger, which is starting at the 3rd fret. I'm just going to say fret numbers, okay? So 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 2, 5, 2, 3. So in context, you can go one note higher to 5 and loop back down again. Okay, that's a great form, and you can move it all around the neck, the exact same fret relation. If I move it starting with my middle finger on 5, it's now A. If I go up to 8, it's C. Now this is a great form to learn. The problem is maybe I'm playing a song and suddenly now I'm way up the neck. I'm in 7th position or 9th position. If I'm up here on the neck and then suddenly I have a G chord and I only can play off of a G scale down here, that's a problem. So one way I worked through that years ago was when I came to the realization that the open chords, C, A, G, D, and E, I can take bar chords and play a bar chord of each of those shapes, and that's going to move me up the neck. So let me show you. If I play the G form, let me explain it again. Though this is the G form, I can use other shapes, and somewhere else in the neck, I'm going to use the D form, but it will be a G. Or I can use the E form, but it will still be a G, or the A form. So, real quickly, it goes like this. Here's the G chord. Here it is as the E form, which is like the first bar chord you learn. Then the G off of the D form. I'm playing the D up here. I'm going to bar the 5th fret. Not super useful like that, but I'll come back to that shape in a bit. Next one is the C form. But instead of playing it with these 3 fingers, play it with these 3. And bar the 7th fret with my index finger. Next would be the A form. Instead of playing it with 3 fingers, I'm going to bar the shape with 1 finger. It's right here. A little tougher to grab. And then finally, I'm back to the G form, which I don't know if I can play on my guitar. There you go. So, all the different forms of G. G, 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 G. Now, the real beneficial thing, we started out talking about scales, is learning to play a G scale in and out of all those shapes. With this G form, or this G form, we already did that pattern. Next will be this one. Now I can start the G right here, and it's just 1 octave. You gotta watch some of the shifts, or I can go a little bit farther, go up to the 4th scale degree, and back down. I mentioned this shape I don't play a lot. What I do with this quite a bit is I will invert the shape. Right now, if G is my lowest pitch, that's a root position G, meaning the note G, the letter name or the name of the chord, is giving it is its lowest pitch. But if I do this, I'm going to put my ring finger where my middle finger is and put my middle finger on the 7th fret of the 6th string. That becomes a G in first inversion. Here's G root position, where G is the lowest pitch. First inversion means the 3rd of the chord, which is the B note, is now going to be my lowest pitch. And I find that very useful if I had a chord, a song rather, going, say, from a G to a C chord. Instead of going G, C, you can do that. But this other way, I'm going to play the G for 3 beats, then G first inversion for 1 beat, and then my C. To me, that sounds prettier, more pianistic, more like a piano player would do. Or you can put a chord in between G, A minor, G first inversion, C. Okay, so anyway, that's a cool sound. So this was the G. The next one is the C form. In this form, I'm barring the 7th fret. My pinky's on the 10th fret of the A string, the 5th string. The root is under my pinky. And I go up to the 1st string. I'll go up to the 5th scale degree and back down again. And then instead of stopping on the root, I can go all the way down to the 3rd. So you can practice it to the root and past it and back down, beyond the root, like this. And then it would start over again. So we had the G form, the E form, the D form, the C form. Next is the A form. So up here, my index is barring 10th fret of the A string and the 1st string, and my pinky is bending. If you can see this, I can get a close-up for you. My pinky is bent at a very weird angle, and it is covering just 3 notes in between. When I was younger, 30 plus years ago, I played it like this. 2 problems with that. One, my finger is flat, so instead of barring 4, 3, 2, it's also barring 1. So if I play that, it's a 6 chord, and I don't want that sound. So I would just strum 5, 4, 3, 2. Second problem is my middle finger is sticking up. It looks like I'm trying to make an obscene gesture. So about 25 years ago, I discovered I could bend my pinky this way. At first, my pinky is bending like this. At first, it felt like I was going to break my pinky, but it got stronger, and I was able to use it. So off of this shape, the G is again on my middle finger. And if I do a shift on the 2nd string, shifting out of this position higher, I can make it a 2-octave pattern. So the frets are 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 9, 11, 12, 14, 12, 13, 15, 12, 14, 15. That's not right. So you can kind of shift different places. I think that's what I normally do. And back down. Okay. And then finally, I'm back to the G shape, which I can't really do as a bar chord. And it's... So, the benefit of learning these shapes is not being stuck with, when I'm in G, I have to play down here. You can do the G scale in all these areas. And what I've done over time now is I don't even think about when I need a G scale. I'm not thinking, well, it's position 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. I kind of move in and out of them. So what I'm going to attempt to do now is start down here and then gradually move into this pattern, then switch into this pattern, and kind of just connect them all with one seamless line. So here we go. So not quite seamless, a couple little bumps. Point is though, after working on those forms, I can now see the shape of the scale, or the arpeggio, or all those notes. It's almost like, there was a guitar I saw years ago called Fretlight, or the company was Fretlight, and what their invention was, it talked about helping you learn scales or arpeggios, and you could type a certain thing and say, I want to learn, again, a G arpeggio. And when you turn on the button, all those notes I just played would light up. But not just here, also here, here. The whole neck would light up, all the possible notes in the G arpeggio. So, my guitar doesn't light up, but in my head, it's almost like it does. It's almost like, or another idea is like landing gear, I guess, or a plane landing on an airstrip at nighttime. If you've landed a plane at night, you may wonder how they do it. You know, there's the light you see on the runway, and someone down there with the sticks kind of steering them in. It's the same idea. I look at the fingerboard and I see these patterns and shapes and the connections, and see that all that's connected rather than just this being G. All that is G. And for me, that really opened a door in my guitar playing where it freed me up. So hopefully some of that helped. I hope it made sense. So as we wrap this up, I'd ask you, if you enjoyed this video, if you got anything out of it, maybe consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video. Also, if you would like some lessons, if you'd like to go deeper with this or have further questions that I can maybe address for you, I do teach lessons and I'm available. So send me a private message and we can talk about that. You can check out my other videos on my YouTube channel. There's a bunch of videos of me playing, but there's also a section of lessons where I talk about some other subjects and maybe some of it will be beneficial to you. So, all the best to you. Keep playing, keep having fun, and God bless. Take care.